Hey, Modi.
Hey, Snoop.
How you doing?
Good. So there's something goofy in the book. If you go into
What's
the
up?
book real quick
Yeah.
and go
Yeah.
to, let me see, overcome your enemies.
Yeah.
The quest for very bottom, the creeper head one,
Yeah.
it says kill 10 creepers.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem to work. Last episode I ran around and killed maybe, a lot of them blew up, but I probably killed about 3 or 4 and it did not do it. And then it shows Enderman 0 of 20. I know we've killed Enderman. So I don't know if those two are broken, but those might be two that we don't end up actually being able to do. So.
Well, we can do. Yeah, that's a good point.
I'm not worried about it. I'm just letting you know before you tackle it and get frustrated with it. So.
Well, I'll see about killing some Endermen because it's not going to hurt.
Yeah.
I'll just go to the end portal and see. And if it comes to me that I'm killing Endermen and they're not actually dying, or it's not counting, then we can just push.
That's what happened with the creepers for me. So.
Okay, no problem.
Anyways, all right. So last episode, we talked about.
I regaled you with my amazing story of
Snoop getting
how I got this cool scar on my forehead.
Smacked around by a giant gun.
Yep, I now have 2 stacks of ender pearls, by the way.
How many did you kill?
Like 7.
Enderman?
Yeah.
That was pretty quickly. I found that many Endermen.
EA looting 3.
All right, so the last 2 episodes kind of carried over to each other. So what is on the hit list for this time for what we're talking about?
For this time, let me see here. Wow, that's a good one.
Ooh, we're out of flint.
Let's see. Did we ask this one already? What's something your brain tries to make you do and you have to will yourself not to do it?
You haven't asked that one yet. You got something?
Okay, so it's hard to admit it, but I may have a little bit of a road rage problem.
I can see that. I've known you long enough. I can see that.
I'm really not a fan of people that cut me off, or like the worst pet peeve of mine is that I'm in a particular lane because I know that I have to make a right turn, so I'm in the rightmost lane and I'm going along and I'm in traffic, and so it's like, stop and go, but I'm in that lane, and then someone crosses into the merge lane right next to mine. For when people turn off onto the street I'm on, and they cross into the merge lane, specifically to try to pass me, and they get to the point where they're like halfway in front of me, and they start merging left in front.
Mm-hmm.
I hate that. I absolutely it makes my skin crawl. I hate that so much. My brain tells me, okay, just speed up. And don't let the person in. Don't let the person in. No, if they wanted to be in that lane, they should have thought of that a while ago. No, just don't. That's their problem. But I have to will myself to be gracious because they're not backing off, and if you don't back down, then someone's gonna have a hurt car. So I have to slow down to open the gap so they can get in.
I'm 100%.
And it eats me up inside.
I'm 100% with you with that. For me, it's whenever there's say there's an accident or there's construction or whatever else, especially like an accident where something kind of pops up out of nowhere, right?
Yeah.
And a person then, all right, so say the it's on the freeway, for example. Say it's a 4-lane freeway, so 2 lanes going each way. And let's say there's an accident and the right lane is closed. So people are merging over the left lane, well before where they have to, but enough to get in there. And that lane is pretty close to just being dead stopped, right?
Yeah.
And then you get the person or the people who then will pass all the people in the left lane that are doing it right, just so they can get up further before they merge.
Oh God, yes, those. That
drives me crazy. Like I said, the thing with what you're talking about, I'm not saying this is how it is, but in my mind, I can kind of contribute that to that just being that person being dumb, just not paying attention, not looking, knowing what to do. Because I'm like you. I'm the type of guy that when I drive, if I know I'm going to be, my next turn off the road I'm on is going to be a left, it could be 5 miles down the road, I'm in the left lane. If it's going to be a right, I'm in the right lane. So and it's more just a case of, over time, I've driven, a lot of time bigger kind of, I had a Ford Explorer, which is pretty good size. I had my van. I drove the old ice cream truck. My van is an ice cream truck. So a lot of time I didn't want to have to deal with trying to, shove my way in and have somebody not let me in, right?
Yeah.
And so yeah, it was I can agree with you on that. I get real, I don't know if I'd call it road rage as much as it's just human rage. Anytime somebody is just not aware of their surroundings, makes me lose my mind. And only because I am hyper aware of my surroundings. If Heather and I are at and I think that's the thing that gets me. If Heather and I are at the grocery store, right, and we go and we're walking down the aisle, and then we're gonna get something and stop, I kind of look behind me to see who's behind me. If there's someone behind me, I kind of move out of the way, and that way they're I'm not being that guy, right?
Yeah.
And is there an easier way for me to get Flint?
I pushed the quest through, by the way.
Oh, did you? Okay, cool.
I said it says forget it, I'm doing it. I'm just pushing through.
Yeah. So like I said, I'm pretty hyper vigilant on that. So let's see, can I have gas pipe?
Yeah, it's tough. It's really tough. Like the other day, I get into a spot where it's a merge lane, and in front of me is like there's a road that turns off, and then there's a railroad and a crossing, and that I have to go over, and then there's the off ramp or the on ramp to get onto the freeway.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's a natural choke point. Everyone wants to go on that one because that's the way to get on the freeway. And so I'm in line, I'm in my spot, I'm right where I need to be to make the turn onto the freeway to get to work. And then there are pylon cones, like the plastic pylons that are stuck into the ground.
Yeah.
They're not like orange cones, but they're white ones. They're like that, and they kind of make a natural turn, kind of a turn curve into this little road that leads to this Green Gables wedding venue place that's right next to the road. And then in front of that is a direct stop where the two lanes become one, and then there is the railroad, and it's all one lane.
Mm-hmm.
I'm right there at the turn to get into the Green Gables place. And I'm stuck. It's stop and go traffic. And then I hear a from my spot from back right.
Mm-hmm.
And I glance in my rearview mirror, and I see a truck, an F-250, going along that road, skip around the curve back onto the road, and then immediately wedge himself 2 cars ahead of me into my lane.
Yeah.
Just completely breaking traffic laws. That's a clear violation of traffic law.
Mm-hmm.
But no, he just has to get in front of us to skip, I don't know, 15 cars?
Yeah, that's what drives me crazy, because the thing is, like I said, the other thing is, well, like the first example you gave, there could be, probably not, but there could be an argument that person was just dumb. But in those situations, that guy's just a jerk.
Exactly.
And that's
a turd.
That one, did you say turd?
Yes, he's a turd.
Okay, he's a turd. I'm not arguing with you. I'm just making sure we're on the same page.
I bet his name is Turd Ferguson.
Turd Ferguson. Turd.
It's the Southampton Fergusons.
Oh, the Southampton turds. Oh, they're the worst. Anyways, but yeah, no, that. But yeah, but it's not just driving. All right, breathe. It's not just driving. Like I said, if you're just. This is where I have an issue with old people.
Oh my god.
Now I'm going to say this. I'm going to say this. Okay. I grew up in a small town, very blue collar town, that was right next to a retirement town. I live in southern Arizona. You know, Arizona and Florida are probably two of the biggest places that people come when they retire, right?
Yeah.
And so you know, I lived there, so I grew up. You know, I've always joked about this. Snoopy, you've been there. I've taken you there, so you can validate this. The town doesn't have buses, so there's no bus lane like a lot of places have.
Right.
And it doesn't have a bike lane. And for people who might live a little bit more rural, in more towns and stuff like that, they'll have, especially here, because you get a lot of people who ride bikes, not only for fun, but kind of competitively and kind of, you know, in between.
Yeah, like the bike squads that go on by, or they're doing it either as an exercise or there's a biking group.
We have a Tour de Tucson, which is a big...
Tour de Tucson?
I swear to God, that's what it's called. It's a big thing where they actually, like, shut down parts of roads. It's a big, giant, you know, bike marathon race that goes all through town and stuff. And they have little versions out all over the place. So where I grew up, though, in a lot of time there'll be a sign that says, you know, Diamond Lane is for buses or bikes or just buses or whatever. Where I grew up, it said Diamond Lane is for golf carts. And I'm going to tell you right now, even growing up as a kid, if you were ever driving down your bike in that lane and somebody was driving a golf cart, you were getting run over. You were getting just straight run over.
Wow.
They did not care.
They just did not care?
Not at all. They'd honk at you, and because the thing is, the sign.
And of course, the honk is not like, it's like,
yeah, and down there the places, and people don't generally believe me.
God, angry old people.
But down there, what happens, and they're called snowbirds. For a lot of people may not know, have heard that phrase before.
I've heard that phrase, yeah. Okay,
so I found people who you know, you get it because even in Southern California you run into it. But, yeah, anyways, but what a snowbird is somebody who generally older, retired, when they end up, especially if they kind of have decent money, what they'll do is they will buy a house. They'll have their house in, say, Wisconsin or wherever, right? And then they'll buy a house here. A lot of time they might just get a condo or something a little bit more, you know.
It's like a summer home kind of situation, or a winter home rather.
And generally, what they'll do is they will, when they come down here, they'll stay. You know, they'll come down maybe like September-ish. And they'll stay through, say, like March, right?
Right.
And they'll 99.99% of the time drive. So they'll drive down from wherever they're at. Even here, even the house that Heather and I live in, our neighbor, nice lady, Miss Bev, she's a snowbird. So like I moved in here with the girls in like May or June, almost 2 years ago. Mm-hmm. And then we'd never met our next door neighbor until like October because she wasn't here. And she lives up in Oregon. She drives down by herself, her and her tiny dog. And so yeah, but anyways, in Green Valley, what they would do is they would drive down in their, you know, big old Cadillac. And once they get here, when they get to Green Valley, they would just park it. And it would literally, it would pretty much not get moved until they went back home. Because down there, all of everybody has golf carts. And not only do they use
and everything is within golf cart driving distance.
It's not even within distance. Not only do they have the side lanes, there's probably 50 miles of golf cart roads weaving in and out of all the neighborhoods and everything. You could literally drive a golf cart from your house a couple of miles without ever actually hitting a main road and get to a grocery store, get to a restaurant, get to the pharmacy, everything. There's also 7 championship golf courses down there. So
kind of makes sense.
Kind of PGA level type thing. So there's actually, I would say 4 of the golf courses. Remember, this town is only like 7 miles long. 4 of the golf courses I know for a fact have been part of PGA tournaments, televised PGA tournaments. So yeah, but
big golfing and retirement community town.
Yeah, and I'm like I said, it's that was a place where they did not care about. Ooh, jeez, this is gonna be tricky. We need.
I have the money to cover me if I run this poor peasant over.
It's not even necessarily that. It's just a case of like, I'm old. I've made it this far. Get out of my way.
What are they gonna do?
Yeah, we've gone to the end in this. How the hell did we get to? Oh, that's right.
Yeah, there's a portal.
Okay.
Yeah.
I need chorus fruit.
Okay.
So I'm gonna actually have to go.
How much do you need? I'm actually in the ends currently.
Oh, I just need one. It's for a recipe. It's for the botanic miner.
I'll get some.
Okay, I didn't know you were down there. Yeah, one coarse flour. The flour is
one coarse flour.
Yeah, I think that's what you get sometimes when you break them. So, anyways, but yeah, like I said, it's not even a case of like what you just said. The person's thinking it through. It's not even that. It's I'm old. You're in a retirement town. The town was so weird. When I grew up, we did not have like a McDonald's or anything like that because Green Valley was the only place that had businesses. The town I lived in wasn't really big enough to have businesses.
Yep.
And
here you go.
Oh, thank you. And so, let's see, can I make this? What am I missing? Just the middle part? Okay. Yeah, they wouldn't allow McDonald's in there. They wanted nothing to do with it. They thought it was going to bring all the teenagers in. There was going to be a
devalue the area.
A ruckus, if you will. And then the funny part is they finally built one, and you couldn't even go and eat there because it was all old people. They loved it.
Damn old people.
Yeah. It was like
clogging up my McDonald's.
Yep. And
that's my Mickey D.
They would come through with they go through the drive-through in their golf cart and get so pissed off because their golf carts weren't generally heavy enough to kind of activate to
trigger the thing. Welcome to McDonald's.
So you would just hear me. I worked at that McDonald's. I worked drive-through for a while, and we actually were told to keep the little window open, even if it was the dead of winter. Which we didn't get a lot of this because snowbirds. But no, we would. That's when they were there.
Because winter was super nice.
Was when they were there, yeah. But it was cold to me. I grew up there. We had to keep the drive-through window open to listen for meep.
Oh my god.
So, and so that was the fun. But yeah, like I said, it was a case of you were driving. It wasn't even if you were walking on a bike. If you were driving a car, and the golf cart lane was kind of obviously off on the very like kind of right side of each side of the road, and they needed to make a left-hand turn, they just turned. They didn't look. They didn't have mirrors. They didn't care. They were like, I made it this far. I'm a golden god. I'm good. It doesn't matter what happens to me. And,
it fit right in.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. Now I am going to take this aggravating story and make it a little dark for a second.
Oh, no.
When I say that the people would never drive their car once they got there, I mean that. Now, there was 2 separate incidences, probably about 10 years apart, but 2 separate instances that I can remember where, and it was always the guy of the husband and wife, right? The wife would get sick and get sent we didn't have a hospital down there. So the closest hospital was in Tucson. And so they would have to get, you know, an ambulance to come pick them up. They drive them to Tucson. Well, these old guys, you know, very, very old school, masculine, protective, were like, well, you know, she can't be in the hospital without me. She needs me, which is adorable. It's sweet, you know.
Yeah.
But the thing is, they didn't drive. A lot of time, I guess guys' eyes just go bad, or their nerves go bad quicker than girls, because it was usually the wife that drove down from Wisconsin or wherever the heck they were at. And these guys would, and it was always at, both times it was at night, and these guys would go to be the valiant savers of their wife, and they would get in their golf cart and go to Tucson. Now the drawback is that between Green Valley and Tucson, there's only a freeway. So these guys, they would get so much into that mode. When I'm saying that, like, they didn't care about, they just felt that they should be able to go wherever they want, they would take these golf carts on the freeway. And I'm not talking even the shoulder. Oh, wait, I already did that. I'm talking right there, middle of the freeway. Both times, just dead, destroyed. Guy would get hit, and basically a golf cart getting hit by a semi at 65, 75 miles an hour at night. A lot of these golf carts didn't have lights. You don't really golf at night. The courses aren't lit. Most golf carts don't have lights. And yeah, just like shredded, just demolished. That is sad, because you think about this husband that is like super scared for his wife, afraid he's going to lose her, and it's just to the point where they don't even think about driving the car. And I don't know what they do when they get home. I don't see them having, like, maybe they have golf carts in wherever they're from too, and maybe they only drive the car to get to and from there. But they all have cars. None of them are flying. They're all driving down here. And so it's pretty crazy. So
that's rough.
And on that note, Heather really wants now to get a golf cart. Not because of that.
Of course she does. Well, you guys gotta move to the right spot first.
Yeah. So
I know that I'm gonna be trying to do that when I get to the right spot.
Oh, damn it!
See? I'm gonna try.
And the worst part is that you're not gonna help my situation. You're gonna end up egging her on. Because I'm gonna ride over to your place in a golf cart and go me outside. You'd be like, oh god, like, come on, let's go, sucker. Well, the funny part is Heather and I have been looking at houses, and down there the houses are pretty new, and they have there's a lot of them that have 3-car garages, because of course we need a pretty decent size house because of all the kids and everything like that. So a lot of times some of the houses have 3-car garages. Now, we don't need a 3-car garage. But in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, because usually when they have those, you'll have your normal 2-car garage door, right? The big one that's on most garages. And then you'll have like a smaller door just to the side. It's all one big room, but it'll have like the big door and the small door. So in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, perfect. The small door is where we could put like the kids' bikes. If we wanted to have any, because Heather and I really like parking in our garage. Like, that's what it's there for. Half of my neighbors park on the street or park in their driveway because they've got racks and racks of just crap in their garage. I'm the type of guy where I'm like, oh, I have a garage. I have a place where my car doesn't get rained on. My car, I don't have to worry about people breaking into it. In Arizona, if I go get in the car in the middle of summer, my steering wheel isn't lava. And I just want to park in the garage. And so I'm thinking, okay, perfect. 3-car garage, 1/3 of it for storage and stuff. And every time I do that, Heather's like, or a golf cart. I'm like, honey, shut up. Golf cart races! Stop saying golf cart races. Stop trying to pull Snoop into your web of deceit.
Golf cart races! Golf carts! Me. Anyways, guys, I want to thank you for joining us for the episode of
so unhappy right now.
If you're new to either of our channels, hit the subscribe button, leave a like, leave a comment, love seeing that kind of thing. As always, I want to give a huge shout out to our sponsor, Host Havoc.
Whoop.
If you're looking for quality Minecraft servers and more, go check out Host Havoc in the description down below. Be sure to use the reference link so we know who has the best fans. It's clearly us.
And Host Havoc.
And Host Havoc, obviously. They're awesome. And once again, guys, thank you for joining us, and we will see you next time.
Bye.
Meep, meep, meep. Bye.